Please do not lie to yourself and say, me, I'm not a prayer warrior. There's nothing called the gift of prayer in the Bible. Go and read it. Among the gift of the Spirit, prayer is not there. If you ever think prayer is convenient, you lie to yourself.
Favor came on your life. You broke, your business blew. Don't run with favor. Go and look for covenant. Even people that get money through darkness, that sacrifice their children, they know the covenant. You are a balloon.
Please subscribe to this channel. You can also like and share our videos to other platforms. God bless you.
Are we together now? Whether you are aware or not, the Bible, anything given has to be received to find expression. As many as received him, you shall receive power. So the Bible is saying God hath not given us the spirit of fear. This is a very powerful revelation. Whatever you have not gotten the spirit of, you have not gotten that reality. So if the spirit of revelation is not upon you, you cannot have revelation. No matter how you read, the spirit is what empowers you. If the spirit of the blessings, the wealth of the kingdom does not come upon you, no matter what you do physically, it will not give it expression. That means God starts to lift people by introducing them to the spirit component of everything that he wants to bring them into. That every physical dimension here has a matching spiritual dimension, and that God will grant you access, listen carefully, to the spirit dimension of that reality, and then sooner or later you will begin to walk in that reality. So death is a spirit, and before a physical death happens, there is a proposition in the realm of the spirit, and somehow if for any reason you receive that spirit, then what you have received will begin to manifest. Life is also a spirit, that it is possible that you can receive it, and no matter what the barrier is, the reality of it will come upon you. Favor is a spirit. It's not just a goodwill. That means the spirit can come upon you, and that spirit itself will alter your behavior and alter those around you to begin to reflect it. Listen, the characteristics of spirits is that they use bodies and they use minds for expression. When a spirit is around you, upon you, or within you, it will begin to alter you to reflect it. Are you getting what I'm saying now? Yes. That means if a gentleman has a spirit that makes him steal, for instance, now he may not even know he has received that spirit. Everything around him is reflecting that there is an influence higher and greater than him compelling him to steal. If you hide money under this pulpit, he should not know, but the spirit, like word of knowledge, will cause him to bend and take that money out. He doesn't have to know he is being led, because he has received the spirit. Are we together now? So the first information is that a man only begins to rejoice when the spirit of your result has been received. That every result and every dimension has a spirit component, and that when you have it, then it is a reality. Listen very carefully. Elijah knew this, and when he began to pray, there was something he was looking for. That rain in itself has a spirit component. Are we together now? And the moment he started seeing that manifestation, he knew that something had already been crystallized in the realm of the spirit, and he began to run. And within a short time, there was a thick cloud. God has not given us the spirit of fear. The second thing I want you to learn is how God deals with fear. Look how dangerous fear is, that it takes 3 dimensions of God's spirit to totally conquer fear. Look at how God addresses fear. That because of how dangerous and serious this operation is, it is not enough to give you power. It won't conquer fear. That there is a tripartite combination of power, of love, and of a sound mind. This is what will totally conquer fear in a man's life. So God has not given you the spirit of fear, but to shield you from the effect of fear, he gives you the spirit of power. He gives you the spirit of love. He gives you the spirit of sound mind. Listen, that means there is a relationship between weakness and fear. If he gives you power, it's because weakness is associated with fear. Are you getting what I'm saying now? There is a relationship between weakness and fear, that every time you are not aware of strength, the reaction is that you can allow fear to find expression. Number two, that there is a revelation of the love of God and love towards men, that if you do not sustain, fear will be inevitable. Number three, there is a relationship between a depraved understanding and fear. Look at how God solves the issue of fear. Love, power, sound mind. Do you know, listen, let me tell you this. Fear looks like a very simple issue, but did you know that every other spirit waits for fear to work? If you reject fear, you can reject every other spirit. The Bible says, and to deliver them who through the fear of death have all their lifetime been subject to bondage. Meaning that every spirit is at the mercy of fear. It is fear that has the courage to open the door. That every oppression of darkness that comes to you stands waiting for fear to give them access. And that fear begins to manipulate your understanding, and that if you lack power, you lack love, you lack a sound or an enlightened mind, you will give fear access, and with fear every other manifestation. Many people fail in life not necessarily because of ignorance, because of fear. The fear to take steps, the fear to arise, the fear to minister, the fear to do so many things. That's why when angels appear, the first thing they tell people is fear not, because they know that the weakness of men wires them to be afraid. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear not. That means that is what is supposed to happen. That every time you are surrounded by uncertainty, the valley of the shadow, not the spirit, the shadow, the similitude of death, meaning that whatever looks like death can cause fear. No matter how real or aberrated it is, the valley of the shadow of death, it causes fear. But it says, I will fear no evil. There is a reason. For thou art with me. I have an understanding of what your presence and your love can do. Listen very carefully. Courage is not the issue of masculinity. It is a product of understanding certain things about God. That the spirit of power is given to men so that they can conquer fear. If you are suddenly told right now that you have the power to cure cancer even at stage 4, maybe a drug, do you know you will no longer be afraid? Is that true? The information that you hear does something to you, and if you do not have the power to resist it, it will cause fear. And when fear enters you, it will destroy everything about your life. So the spirit of fear manipulates your understanding, manipulates your faculty of expression. How many of you have seen children? Because of their understanding, they do not easily have the fortitude for fear. You get the point now? They are not aware that this can hurt them, and so they will come with confidence. That means that the moment you are aware of the potential of a thing to destroy you, and you are aware that you do not have power over it, it will create an unnecessary sense of caution. Why do we fear poverty? Because we think we do not have power over it. Why do we fear death? Have you seen traditionalists that cut themselves and nothing happens? A system try to aberrate power and immune them so they can bear the unbearable, because they are aware that there is some form of power that has given them immunity.